fewer showers and a bit warmer too. Rita.
Thank you, Ben. That is today's BBC News at 6. Now it's time to join our colleagues for the news where you are. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Rita. Welcome to Look East and welcome to our new look. On the programme tonight, a man is jailed for causing the death of this woman while being chased by police. He left a trail of destruction across a maize field.
I haven't seen anything like that before. It's almost something out of Hollywood. You saw in the video today how they drove through the crop field. It wasn't just a few feet in, a few metres. They drove a good kilometre, 2 kilometres within the field, causing a significant amount of damage to the maize.
We'll have all the details on that sentencing. Also tonight, how a new treatment for depression that uses electrical pulses is being trialled by the NHS in this region.
I'll be explaining how the equipment stimulates certain parts of the brain, helping those that can't be treated with antidepressants.
It's a changing of the guard here at Wattisham. The Apache Mark 1s have taken their final flight to be replaced by these magnificent beasts.
And these pupils have just one day to put on a music concert, and they're performing with other children that they've never met.
Good evening. First tonight, a dangerous driver has been jailed for killing a woman and leaving a trail of destruction through a maize field as he tried to escape from police. 28-year-old Issa Mbello Bolde died when the stolen Land Rover crashed into her car on the A143 in Norfolk. Today, the court heard the driver had been convicted of drink driving 3 months earlier and had been drinking that day. The judge said he should never have been on the road. Andy Trigg reports from Norwich Crown Court.
On the 13th of August last year, the police helicopter, along with marked and unmarked police vehicles, pursued a stolen Land Rover on the A143 from Suffolk into Norfolk. When officers tried to stop the Land Rover, it drove into a maize field, causing £6,000 worth of damage. When the Land Rover then re-emerged on the A143, it collided head-on with a Nissan Juke being driven by Issa Mbello Bolde. In September, the driver of the Land Rover, Marcin Jablonski, who's 44, and from Carlton Colville near Lowestoft, pleaded guilty to causing death by dangerous driving as well as other offences. Today, when sentencing Jablonski to 12 years in prison, Judge Anthony Bates said that he'd caused a tragic collision and that he should never have been on the road that summer's afternoon. Jablonski had in fact been convicted 3 months before the crash of drink driving for a third time. Meanwhile, Thomas Urbaniak, who's 26 from All Saints Green in Newmarket, was sentenced to 2 years for aggravated vehicle taking. Following the crash, the Independent Office for Police Conduct launched an investigation into Suffolk and Norfolk Police. They looked at their handling of the case in the moments before the crash. And while that investigation is still ongoing, Norfolk Police have today welcomed today's sentencing.
I'm really pleased with 12 years and for Jablonski. 2 years for Urbaniak, I think, is a fair sentence, as he was the passenger in the car. We worked hard to prove that he was an instigator in the original theft and burglary. It's a fair sentence to give.
Well, Miss Balde's family were in court today and made no reaction when the sentences were delivered. However, through Norfolk Police, Bokar Balde, which was Miss Balde's husband, described her as his best friend and soulmate. He said they had many plans for the future which would no longer be fulfilled, something he's still coming to terms with. Andy Trigg, BBC Look East, Norwich Crown Court.
And remember, you can see that story alongside all the latest news and features on your local pages of the BBC website and news app. Next tonight, the new treatment helping people with depression. It involves a headset which delivers low-level electrical pulses. The NHS in Northamptonshire is leading the way with a trial which involves people wearing it in their own homes. It's being used to treat the 1 in 3 people who don't respond to medication. Our health correspondent Nikki Fox explains how it works.
Well, there's still so much we don't know about the human brain, how chemicals or genes passed down from our relatives affect it. So what do we know? Well, a healthy brain is all about having a bundle of working connections, a bit like electricity flowing through wires with certain chemicals helping to conduct it. Now, according to the charity Mind, 1 in 5 people experience suicidal thoughts or depression. And it's because certain connections have stopped working. So what can help? Well, exercise, learning new skills or therapy can reprogram the pathways in your brain, while antidepressant drugs can increase certain chemicals and kickstart those connections into action. But that doesn't always work. So something called brain stimulation therapy is being looked at. And I've been to Northamptonshire to look at one particular type.
You open up the app and it works on Bluetooth, so it tells you to attach the pads.
Like a lot of men his age, Ashley Riley suffers from depression.
The app tells you how to line it up, which it is there. Then you press start stimulating and you're away.
But since wearing this device, his symptoms have improved.
And that's it for 30 minutes and you get a slight tingling, and I'll sit and do emails or work on my laptop, and you do that every day. The place I was in was a pretty bad place. I'd had some really bad depression and anxiety. So I tried lots of medication. I tried lots of different things. I couldn't work, couldn't interact with my family on a day-to-day basis. And so, yeah, I was pretty ill. I was pretty poorly. I've become much calmer. I take a day at a time and I feel much more settled, and there's much more hope in my life.
He wears the device 5 times a week. It uses electrical pulses. They target a part of the front of the brain called the prefrontal cortex. It controls things like how we express emotions and can influence depression. The weak pulses aim to restore activity in that part of the brain. The NHS in Northamptonshire is helping to trial the device.
About 30 to 40% of patients with depression do not respond to antidepressants. Some people do, and for them antidepressants are appropriate. We can't just keep giving antidepressants hoping something's going to be different, because we need a different approach.
It's one of the first NHS trusts to give patients the headset. Because it can be used at home, it's cheaper than other therapies.
What would you say to people who are sceptical of this kind of alternative treatment?
What I would say is research shows, and we've known for many years, that the brain runs on electricity. That's the mother tongue. And effectively, when you look at brains of people who are depressed, there's less activity in the region associated with mood and memory. And what we're doing is targeting that region with electrical impulses to push it back to sort of a healthy state.
I'm able to be a full-time dad, which I love. I go running with my son, I'm out with my daughter. I'm able to be a proper husband to my wife. My family mean everything to me, and so to be able to be a full part of that, how I should be, is really, really important to me.
It's also being trialled in America as part of a wider study where more than half of patients showed improvements. Ashley did have counselling as well, but feels the brain stimulation has played a major part in helping him get his life back.
Well, this won't work for everybody, and there can be side effects. The National Institute of Clinical Excellence says this should only be done under the guidance of a doctor. But in a review, it says there is high-quality comparative evidence from the UK that flow can improve symptoms of depression and lead to remission. More research is needed. It's now being trialled on new mums and NHS staff who have depression.
Nikki Fox. And if you've been affected by any issues raised in that report, details of organisations offering information and support on mental health are available at bbc.co.uk/actionline, or you can call for free at any time to hear recorded information on 08000 155 998. Time now for a quick roundup of some other news. An inspection into services for children with disabilities or special educational needs in Northamptonshire has found widespread and systemic failings. Ofsted and the Care Quality Commission say they have significant concerns. The local authority says it's sorry and has promised to improve. A town in Hertfordshire has become the first place outside London to allow graves to be reused. A new law gives Bishop Stortford Town Council the power to lift and deepen graves in its cemeteries if those plots are at least 75 years old. The council must give family members 6 months to object.
And it means that local people will be able to visit, have their loved ones buried locally and visit them here, should they so wish. The land was due to run out in about 2030, and that obviously is not a good thing for people. They want to be able to come to a nice, peaceful place and visit their loved ones.
A coroner in Cambridgeshire has ruled that the paedophile former football coach Barry Bennell died of natural causes. The 69-year-old, also known as Richard Jones, died in September at HMP Littlehay near Huntingdon after receiving treatment for cancer of the tonsils. He was jailed for 34 years in 2018 after being convicted of a series of child sex offences. People in Luton are asking Coldplay to change the lyrics of one of their most famous songs when they play at BBC Radio 1's Big Weekend in May. The band are being asked to change yellow to orange to reflect Luton Town's football kit rather than Watford's, their local rivals. Norwich City Football Club has distanced itself from comments made by former sporting director Stuart Webber, which have provoked an outcry from anti-racism groups. In a local newspaper interview, Webber referred to 5 black players, saying they might have ended up in jail had they not become professional footballers. One of the players, Abu Kamara, said he was deeply saddened by the remarks, while campaign group Kick It Out described them as disgraceful. Just as we came on air, Webber told the BBC he had contacted the players to apologise. Laura Foster has this.
Stuart Webber was being interviewed about an upcoming charity challenge when he decided to say this.
Often our footballers come from Johnny Rowe, you might be saying it, Abu Kamara, these guys, Max, Jamal, all these, Raheem back in the day, the areas they came from. So it has to work out for them, because the alternative is potentially jail or something else.
The comments were about 5 black players, Raheem Sterling, Abu Kamara, Jonathan Rowe, Max Aarons and Jamal Lewis. In Norwich today, people were shocked by what was said.
I think it's disgusting. Yeah, no, I mean, why say that about anybody, let alone he's obviously got some sort of racial prejudice.
If it's that based on the colour thing, as racism obviously will say that.
I just can't believe that that is still like that. I mean, I'm quite shocked actually, if I'm honest. I just can't believe that we're all the same. You might be a different colour, but we're all the same.
Anti-racism groups have been quick to say that these comments are racist.
The narrative around footballer or jail, it just belittles so many experiences, dehumanises so many different people. If you can say that in an interview, publicly, that gets put out publicly, then what are you saying behind closed doors? Because it's a narrative that you obviously believe.
Kamara is the only one of the players to have commented publicly so far, posting on social media that he was deeply saddened and shocked, and added that you don't have to be a professional athlete to avoid living a life of crime.
Today, Norwich City Football Club said it's offering support to its players, Kamara and Rowe, and that it's reaching out to the other 3. It says that the comments made by Stuart Webber do not in any way reflect the wider views of the club. Laura Foster, BBC Look East, Norwich.
And remember, we always like to hear what you think about this or any story. You can have your say by emailing us at look.east@bbc.co.uk, messaging us on WhatsApp, or finding us on social media using the hashtag BBC Look East. Stay with us, there's lots more to come, including the Suffolk schools using music to bring communities together. And Jules will have your weather for the week ahead.
Well, it feels like a relentless conveyor belt of fronts on the way over the next few days, which at times will bring us some very wet and windy weather on the run-up to the Easter weekend. But the bank holiday itself should be a bit better. All the details later in the programme.
And of course, Jules will be here in our new studio using the amazing video wall behind me. Talking of which, these are Apache helicopters. And for people living in parts of our region, they're a familiar sight and sound in our skies. Watersham Airfield in Suffolk has been home to the attack helicopter since 2005. And it's played a key role in conflicts across the world. Today, the Mark I helicopters are being replaced with a Mark II upgrade. Let's go live to Zoe O'Brien at Watersham to find out more. Zoe.
Hi Susie, yeah, really exciting day today here at Wattisham, because in the last half an hour those Mark 1s, those Apaches have landed, and if you were out and about in the region you might have actually seen them today as they flew overhead. Now they were late, we were expecting them earlier in the day, but they couldn't take off because of fog in Norway, but they are here now and we are inside with this. This is the new Apache. This is the AH-64E. It's quite a beast. Now to you and I, this might look exactly the same as the Mark 1 from the outside, but I've been speaking to experts earlier who said it's what's inside that counts.
This is the AH-64E Apache. It's the latest version of the Apache helicopter, which is now taken over as the primary attack aircraft for the British Army. What we have here is the aircraft has been updated in terms of its software mainly, and also we've got a few features on the outside of the aircraft, such as extended blades, which will make the aircraft a lot quicker, and we've also increased the power coming through the transmission for the aircraft. But as I said before, the main features we've got with the aircraft are internally. So we've got a lot of systems on board which allow us to identify and track targets a lot quicker. We can still track that 256 targets just like the previous aircraft, but with this one we can make a decision on how to prosecute those targets a lot quicker using tactical data links and also decision aid and software which the pilots have in the cockpit.
Well, the Mark 1s flew in combat roles in Afghanistan and in Libya. They've been flying since 2001. Now, there is quite a buzz about the base around these new birds because of the technology that is fitted inside. Now, I was talking to pilots earlier and they say when you're in a combat role in a helicopter like this, it's terrifying. It never ever gets easier, but they say the training, that is quite fun. Now, I did ask them what the main difference is, and they said with these, they'll be able to keep up with modern warfare.
The nifty thing about the new E model is it's able to talk to drones. So basically they're taking in that feed from the drones and then able to double their sort of prosecution range and sort of coverage. So we'll be able to ID targets much further out to various like 50 kilometres with the help of UAS, and obviously that's just going to make target acquisition, hunting and prosecution a whole lot smoother and better.
Loud. Now, the most exciting thing that I've learnt today, the most interesting thing, is the answer to one of the questions that a lot of people will be asking. What is happening to the old Mark 1s? Well, what I'm told is that 4 of them are being used for training and the rest of them are being stripped down and turned into the new Apaches, and that is pretty cool recycling.
It is indeed. Thank you very much, Zoe. Sport now, and the international break meant there was no football action in the Premier League or the Championship. In League One, Stevenage drew with Carlisle United and Northampton beat second-place Derby County. In League Two, Colchester drew with Mansfield Town, while there was a heavy 5-0 defeat for MK Dons away to Stockport. So, no league action for Luton Town, who currently sit just above the relegation zone in the Premier League. Their next match is on Saturday away to Spurs. Today there was a big gathering at Kenilworth Road as manager Rob Edwards welcomed members of the nearby Medina Mosque to the ground. It was for an iftar event, the daily breaking of the fast during Ramadan. James Burridge has sent this.
Well, we all know how integral the community is here at Kenilworth Road, particularly over the last 12 months as we've witnessed all the changes here as well. And Maksud is from the local mosque. It's amazing how close-knit this community is here at Luton.
It is very close-knit, really brilliant atmosphere here at Luton, and with the mosque as well, just across the road, the nearest mosque to any football club, I think, so it really does, help us with the community spirit.
And tell me why an iftar event like this is so important.
It's very important that we get all the community together so, people know about iftar, learn about Islam, and then that builds that cohesion in the community. And we have that, Islamophobia, etc. doesn't happen. And, it really does help, all the people here to know about Islam, and also football brings us all closer together as well.
Maxie, lovely to see you. Enjoy tonight. Let's speak with the manager, Rob Edwards, who's hot-footed it down to speak to us. And Rob, from your perspective, you've seen it, you've lived it, you've breathed it, just how important the Muslim community is in Luton.
Yeah, and nothing will
to be honest, I think on the Monday after we got promoted, it was one of the best days I've had in my professional life, and seeing how much it meant to our local community, it was incredible, and it really brought it home. We're such a diverse town, but to see everyone coming together at that time was really, really special, and that will always live with me. And I think, you know, we're standing here now, this new stand that got built, and there was a lot of our local community again would have been, you know, there'd been a lot going on in the summer. There was a lot of lorries and trucks and cranes and all sorts of stuff going on. And I think it's really important that we support our local community at this time as well now. You've had an international break. I bet it doesn't feel like you've had an international break, and you're busying yourself for what is going to be a make or break month, isn't it? Particularly over Easter. Yeah, you're right. We've got some huge games coming up now. We've got 9 cup finals, and it doesn't get much easier. Tottenham and Arsenal away over the next couple of games. So we're working really, really hard to try and get points on the board, and we know how difficult that is. But we're looking forward to the challenge. And, you know, we wouldn't have it any other way. And I think, you know, a year ago now, everyone would have taken this, you know, so bring it on. Good stuff. Rob, lovely to see you. Yes, it is going to be an absolutely fascinating few weeks for Luton. Back to you.
James Burridge there. More than 80 children from primary schools across Suffolk have spent the day preparing for a very special performance tonight. They came together at Thurston Community College, singing and learning new instruments with the help of students from the local sixth form. The idea is to promote the importance of music at all levels of education, as Debbie Tubby reports.
And from Thurston Primary, that is Sienna, Alice.
These have just one day to put on a music concert.
I throw my hands up in the air sometimes, saying ayo.
They'll be performing for the first time with children from other primary schools that they've never met.
Don't stop believing, don't run to the feeling. Ba ba ba, ba ba ba.
I think it should be amazing. We're starting with the ensemble piece, which they will have been working on all morning. So, and then each school has prepared their own song or their own piece that they're doing. And we've had a run through of the finale this morning when everyone got here, and that sounded beautiful. So I can't wait to see that on the main stage in the auditorium. I think it's going to be absolutely amazing. I'm so excited. I'm absolutely buzzing.
C, F, D.
F, D.
That's our big C, our E, and our G.
The workshops are being run by sixth form students.
I do A-level music over at sixth form, and yeah, we were asked to help out. So a lot of people here today are music students, all people helping out. Yeah, so it's just a chance for us not only to have like experience with teaching, but also like with music. Yeah, and it was a great opportunity.
They're not yet hitting the right note, but they are hopeful it will be all right by tonight.
Yeah, I'm quite confident. I feel like if we focus, we can do it, but if we don't, we probably won't be able to get as good as it could be. I've been learning a Star Wars backing track. I had no idea what it was, and now it's stuck in my head.
A bit nervous, a bit happy.
I think you'll be brilliant.
Yeah, I reckon I'll be brilliant as well. I feel a bit nervous, but I'm sure I'll persevere and keep on going.
So you're excited about tonight?
Yeah, I'm really excited.
After lunch, it's the final rehearsal for tonight's big performance.
We're a land of little voices and we want to be heard. We're a land of little voices and
This is the finale to what's been a hive of activity, the chance to learn new instruments and perform at a unique concert, all compiled in just one day. Debbie Tubby, BBC Look East, Suffolk.
Isn't that great? Well done all. And they said they were nervous but happy, which is kind of what we are today, isn't it, in our new set. So nice to have you out of the cupboard, Jules.
It is so lovely to be back with you, Susie, but what a transformation.
I know. You were in a very small cupboard. Now you're in this big set, and we've got the amazing video walls for you to use.
Yeah, look at this. Welcome to my new weather corner. And I thought I'd use the new screens to showcase the best of today's sunshine. Beautiful blue here at Sheringham in Norfolk, and also a bit further down the coast in Suffolk at Cove High. Then I also wanted to show you this amazing photograph of a mainly red rainbow captured this morning by sunrise watcher in Stevenage in Hertfordshire. And it's this colour because at this time of the day, the sunlight actually has further to travel through the Earth's atmosphere. So what we're seeing are mainly the red, long wavelength colours. And because there's a lot of red, I like to think of it as a lucky look Easter rainbow. My goodness, we need some good luck when it comes to the forecast at the moment for us. There is quite a lot of surface water out there in many parts of the region still, and we've got more rain on the way. Although tonight it should be largely dry, give or take a few showers feeding in from the south. We'll have some clear sky, but also some thicker cloud and those showers pushing northwards. But it won't be as cold for most of us compared to last night, with lows of around 5 or 6 degrees Celsius. So on the whole, we should stay frost-free, with mainly light to moderate east to southeasterly winds, perhaps touching fresh at times. So tomorrow we've got this low pressure centred to the west, and eventually it's going to throw this weather front our way. But ahead of that front, well, apart from an odd shower, it should be largely fine and dry. So probably the best of any breaks in the cloud during the morning, and then cloud thickening up and this rain pushing into the south and west during the afternoon and evening. And some of that later on could be on the heavy side. Top temperatures tomorrow of around 10 to 12 degrees Celsius, so most of us staying in double figures. And so tomorrow evening, we do see that wet weather moving northwards, and then it becomes drier for a time again with just a few showers as we head into Wednesday. But Wednesday, that low pressure in the west still dominating, and yet another weather front heading our way. So on Wednesday again, we start off fine and dry, but then we are expecting showers and perhaps some longer spells of rain. Some of that could be on the heavy side, and actually we could have wind gusts stronger than this in the east, perhaps up to around 50 miles an hour. And on Thursday on the coast, we could have gusts of up to 55 miles an hour. Thursday at the moment, some rain in the early hours, then a drier slot, and then yet more showers or longer spells of rain. And yet again, some of that could be on the heavy side. But as we head into the Easter bank holiday, well, on Good Friday, yet a few showers, but a lot of fine and dry weather, and those winds starting to ease down. Saturday, a weak front, perhaps giving us quite a lot of cloud, especially in the east, and some showers, but it should brighten and become sunnier from the west. And then on Sunday, the best of the bunch, Easter Sunday, foggy start, but then some good sunny spells, and then back to showers for Monday. And that's your forecast.
I think I preferred the blue sky you started with. Thank you. That's all for now. I hope you like our new look. Alex will be here with your late news at 10:30. Enjoy your evening. Goodbye.
I had an environmental impact study done. It said that the coastal erosion rate was about 1 metre a year.
Police are here, they're now getting properties evacuated.
Yeah, I'm grateful for what the council have done, but not as grateful as I would have been if it had saved my home and everybody else's home.
We've lost at least 300 metres of our beach now. Why is nobody stepping in to help us?
I don't really have anywhere to go.
This is where the wave of ambition hits the rock of reality. Your sesame cracker's burning.
I need to stop shaking.
Absolutely ace.
I'm so happy, I just want to dance.
The 20th series of MasterChef starts Easter Monday on BBC One and iPlayer.
So how was your day?
Before the new series starts, watch all episodes of Blue Lights on BBC iPlayer.
Monday night on BBC One, welcome along. We're here with you live, a birthday bash with an unwanted present, EastEnders in half an hour.